And on top of that, before he even touches on anything, I don't think we ever see a moment like that in Shrek ever again after this particular scene. And now there's anything wrong with that. Wait, actually, yes, I
We
do.
watch all of Shrek every year through osmosis alone. So trying to pinpoint what scene I want to break down for this series is almost difficult as I feel like I know most of these scenes too well. So whilst you've seen Ogre Are Like Onions or The Muffin Man, The Big Wedding or Lord Farquaad's animated penis, today we're gonna pull...
Yo, pause. Whose animated penis? And why?
Things back to perhaps one of the least memeified scenes in the original. It's when the movie takes itself the most seriously and strikes at the thematic meaning behind this entire movie. At some campsite, up on a cliff, looking up at stars, Donkey and Shrek have a...
Oh yeah, the one part where like everyone on TikTok I post like sad as shit, and it's like, I'm there for you, bro.
late night talk. As
Now there's
Fiona
anything
hides
wrong with
away
that. It's
in a
not even
little
corny.
cave
It's just cool
corner.
as fuck. Like
That one. That's throwback. The only ogre to ever spit over 3 wheat fields.
As we come down from the stars to look upon
this is what two best friends look like, bro. This is me and who? This is me and who?
our fresh-faced duo boys. The last scene was at this exact same spot, just earlier in the day, hence the cross dissolve. This is the setup for your classic heart-to-heart. If this wasn't a parody production of your standard fairy tale formula. Of course, it's gonna trek it up a little bit, as our characters pull out constellations.
Hey, can you tell my future from these stars?
Well, the stars don't tell the future, don't
Yeah, bro. The goofy constellation.
they? tell stories.
It's weird, especially through the lens of the internet. Shrek is a very memeified character. His online presence is beyond a caricature at this point, so to hear him talking almost philosophically is admittedly giving a little bit of whiplash, but
It's true. And I think it was like Shrek 3. I take it back. I think it was Shrek 3.
here he is, talking from a place of maturity and intelligence. He's gonna get all spiritual on us about the tales behind the stars.
Look, there's blood in
You know, when it comes to philosophy and already forgot what he said. Philosophy is spiritualism and all that good stuff. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Go ahead and let me know.
You can guess what he's famous for.
All right, now I know you're making this up.
In every line that he spells, he's parodying the more classical traits you would expect a story to take, given the same circumstances and scenarios that its characters find themselves in.
No, look. There he is, and there's the group of hunters running away from his stench.
All the while, we have
Yo, for that, do you guys think that Donkey was being like an ass? Come on, bro. That shit was funny.
straight neck.
Bro, what are you talking about? He looks like Donkey, bro.
Animatronic, and it almost tickles me how much he expresses with his face in this strange pose.
No, look, I'm talking about this piece right here, where like he makes a fart joke and Shrek is being all
Characters
serious.
find themselves in.
No, look. You can guess what he's famous for.
All right, now I know you're making this up.
For real, because he was like, "Nah, you're making all this shit up. That shit fake." Dude, what are these cursed? I keep accidentally going to these cursed clips, bro. Look at that animation, bro. Anyways,
In every line that he spells, he's parodying the more classical traits you would expect a story to take, given the same circumstances and scenarios that its characters find themselves in.
No, look. There he is, and there's the group of hunters running away from his stench.
All the while, we have Donkey here looking legit cursed. Like, he just looks so weird with his perfectly straight neck, looking at an animatronic, and it almost tickles me how much he expresses with his face in this strange pose. See? He's looking over so hard over there. Way.
Man, that ain't nothing but a bunch of little dots.
Yo,
yo, that was an ass. Yo, so
Donkey, sometimes things are more than they appear.
Here it is, the main crux of the point of this movie. It is the whole don't judge a book by its cover routine. Sometimes things are more than they appear. A
okay, and are you about to? Is he about to say that this shit corny or what?
message that applies to so many aspects of this movie. Fiona is more than just a princess, she is an ogre by night. Cursed thanks to the spell from back when she was young.
It was just like, never mind. I completely forgot the word.
Lord Farquaad, I still cannot believe they got away with
Foreshadowing.
that.
Foreshadowing
Never
was the
is
word I
quite
was
as
looking
tall
for.
as you first presume him to be. Donkey speaks, I guess. And of course, Shrek. Always seen as the hideous monster, is in fact a friendly guy once you get right down to the core of him. It's just an offhanded comment at the moment since Shrek is genuinely just concerned about Donkey's lack of vision with the stars, but it comes from a place of mild grievance over how he's been treated in his life. Maybe a heart-to-heart is occurring.
And like I said, that's gonna be like somewhere
Maybe
around
not.
like Shrek 3 or something.
Forget it.
Man, I'm still
Still,
hungry.
the
I
act
only
of
have-
lying up at the night sky still puts a mild smile on the big guy's face. Or it's a weird animation thing. We are still dealing with 2001 here.
Hey, Shrek. What we gonna do when we get out swamp anyway?
Our swamp?
And now we're
Pause. Yeah. What the fuck was Donkey thinking? That was Shrek Swamp this entire time. I'm all alone. There's no one else beside me. Anyways, you'll know what reference that is.
beautiful. It's not exactly a compositing first, but how often are there really stargazing scenes, and how many of them are able to angle themselves like this by being up on a cliff? This kind of shot feels like it would line up with some lo-fi or vaporwave Simpsons edit overlay on it. You know what I'm saying?
No way.
Anyway, the lines are
I
just
think it
adding
looks
fuel
fine,
to the
but-
conflict, with Donkey being his usual stupid self, and Shrek keeping himself guarded as the solo act in this world.
When we through rescuing the princess and all that stuff.
There's no hour.
And so, ruining the artsy moment, we pull
Yo, guys, did Donkey ruin or carry Shrek? Because honestly, I think Shrek would have done good in his own. All Donkey did was fuck a dragon.
way further in Shrek's
Just
side as he
saying.
clarifies our slightly more rude conversation topic. Shrek is in all of this for him and
Yo, what the fuck?
slightly more rude conversation topic. Shrek is
Look at that face, bro. He's so concerned, bruh. For what?
in all of this for him and him alone. He's always been a loner type character, and he's continuing to keep his barriers up. Occasionally shot reverse shotting to Donkey's mirror composition, looking a little less weird at this angle now. Oblivious and confident. Both pretty neutral in regards to angles, though Shrek takes up way more space on his shots. Probably because he's just big.
Yo, was that a fat joke?
There's just me and my swamp. The first thing I'm gonna do is build a 10-foot wall around my land.
Yo, whoa, pause. You're starting to sound like Trump right now. Last thing you want is 10-foot wall, bruh. Trust me, it doesn't work.
I didn't realize Shrek's politics were like that. This movie truly transcends time. What even is the best response to that kind of declaration?
You cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep just now.
Oh, but yeah, the shot looks nice. Blurred background, the warm campfire on one side of Donkey. It's decent. But of course, what is a lot more fitting is Donkey prying at absolutely anything.
You know what I think? I think this whole wall thing
I think Donkey needs to shut the fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
is just a way to keep somebody out.
No.
So now the cameras
Really?
have swapped from neutral to entirely on Donkey's perspective of the scene layout. The camera is posed from the direction that Donkey just was, and Shrek is turned away from us. Even in response, we don't see his face. As Shrek has started closing up on Donkey, he has compositionally closed up on us too. But Donkey
Yo,
is
I
exactly
didn't
the
even
type
notice.
of character who's not very good with closed doors. And he'll just continue to pry everything open.
Are you hiding something?
Never mind, donkey.
Oh, this is another one of those onion things.
Dude, you wake up and you see this right on top of you. What the fuck are you doing? I'm just saying.
And then Shrek turns away again, away from Donkey and towards us. We're now switching to Shrek's perspective. It won't teach us any new answers, but it will highlight how annoying Donkey is. First, it's a closer up on Shrek as he starts to feel more tense from the brewing interrogation. It's a lot less casual feeling the closer the camera tightens in. And then as he turns back to the night sky again, the thing that gave him some nice solace earlier, we switch to his actual point of view. Ready for an upside-down invasive donkey head to ruin the very thing that brought joy before. It's the most literal sense of Donkey getting in the way and disrupting Shrek from the
Yo, what are the odds? These shots are crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on.
He's clear.
Okay, hang on, hold on. Hold on. Oh yeah. What are the odds that I actually said that Donkey was like Donkey ruin or carry Shrek? Because right now, he's more so on the topic of like Donkey ruin Shrek. So he's taking my stance right now. I think Donkey ruined Shrek for real.
Literal sense of Donkey getting in the way and disrupting Shrek from the peace he has clearly been craving since the very start of the movie. And Shrek is the type of person with a short fuse. These two are the perfect follies to each other's character traits.
No, this is one of those drop it and leave it alone things.
Hey, enough said. See you guys next time. No, I'm just kidding.
Camera switching to Donkey's point of view now. Honestly, the camera really is sticking to neutral in tone across the whole scale of this movie, as when it does choose to take sides, so to speak, it then flips sides just as regularly to keep the balance. This is just two juggernaut personalities clashing. We don't need to agree or disagree with either of them. But from this angle, you can really see the glow on Shrek's teeth and his angry eyes right center of the frame. Interesting they left so much headroom for the entire log pillow to be in view.
Why don't you want to talk about it?
Why do you want to talk about it?
As everything the two debate about splits into twos. Each sponse gets a response, but whilst Donkey remains pretty calm and just nagging incessantly without any awareness of his boundary stepping, Shrek is clearly getting more emotive as it gets to him. It's a
Sounds like a communication issue to me. I think that's where they should have left it, to be honest. It was like, yo, let's go to sleep. Nice.
subject that clearly strikes something within him, and he's always had his guard up. Now's the chance to finally peel away a little bit of that shell, and he's afraid to, but he's gonna have to. He is talking to Donkey here.
Well, why are you blocking?
I'm not blocking.
For real, Donkey, honestly, Donkey low-key carried. Okay, I'm gonna have to take back my comment from earlier. Donkey didn't ruin Shrek, he carried Shrek. Because he's the one who got Shrek from point A to point B overall. Anyways, that's my take.
King?
Oh, yes, you are.
Camera shots getting faster and faster as this interrogation continues. No matter where Shrek turns, he'll always be approached since he is sleeping just out in the middle of nowhere. And honestly, he will never get that privacy when sleeping ever again. But also, there's some sneaky cutting going on here, as Shrek's turnovers have been getting faster and faster until it is practically entirely cropped out now. Switching us to the first side-on for this argument. The camera has met us in the middle, as Shrek somewhat meets with Donkey in the middle too, with a threat.
Donkey, I'm warning you.
Who you trying to keep out? Just tell me that, Shrek. Who?
As he now finally lifts up from his
99% of men nowadays, they would approach you with a threat just for pushing a bit too hard, bruh. And the thing is that people don't even push as hard as people claim, bruh. And anyways, goofy behavior.
lie down to rise up against Donkey in direct confrontation. But threatening Donkey never works out, and he keeps pushing. Even as the camera switches to a high angle on...
Notice how it was an empty bluff? Yeah, gonna have to say that's about a third of the 99% that, you know...
But
I'm not talking about anyone in specific. I'm just saying, based on my life experience, that is what I've seen. So anyways, now that we got that covered before, you know, randomly get fucking attacked.
Everyone, okay?
Ah, we getting somewhere.
Yo, his response was, again, 99% of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Shrek has finally burst as we've hit the target of an issue that defines and spoils all of Shrek's life. As he sees it, it is him against the world. And what better way to present it than by this lonely shot of Shrek? And nothing but the stars. Perhaps the only companions
he's
he's
actually
ever
so
had
sad,
back in
not
the
gonna
swamp
lie.
that haven't bothered him. Maybe that's why he was so pleasant and informed about them earlier. He stargazed at the swamp or something.
That's actually
But
scary,
yes,
bro.
this angry shot just looks angrier when you have him staring down at you like this, emblazoned in front of the blaze, and leaning in incredibly closely to the camera. It is confrontation manifest. Yet it comes from a place of weakness and vulnerability. And yet Donkey is unfazed, just happy to make progress. Threats are ineffective.
Oh, for the...
You guys, remember, if someone is trying to communicate with you, it's never to purposely hurt you or to push you further away from them. It's simply to just get you to talk a little bit. You care. And, you know, just like how Donkey in this scenario cares, Donkey just met Shrek, so he cares a bit too much for just meeting this guy. But you know what I mean? In our day-to-day lives, you know, sometimes we got our parents pushing here and there, but it's only because they love us. And anyways, I just thought I'd spread that positive message out there.
the love of Pete.
And for this brief moment, our third character contributes to the frame. Fiona is with them after all at this point in time, but she's in hiding since it is nighttime. And the boys are pretty loud out here. It's just a viewing out to see that they're okay or check for safety reasons, cascading in shadows so as to only preview what's going on with her, as she onlooks from behind her door over a third of the frame. It lightens the drama as we're no longer in poking distance of Shrek's nose, whilst it also makes for another pretty shot against that perfect full moon for Shrek to storm off in front of.
What you got against the whole world anyway? Huh?
Look, I'm not the one with the problem, okay? It's the world that seems to have a problem with me.
And
Yo, guys, I don't want to get philosophical on you real quick, but if you feel like the world is against you, it's just not true. At the end of the day, people want to be good more than they want to be bad. Now, I'm not saying that's 1,000% of people, but what I am saying is 9 times out of 10, people are going to want to do more good than they want to do bad. So if you're always feeling like this anxiety going on inside of you, maybe feel a little bit of gratitude. And I know that sound is a little bit harsh and a little bit direct, But something I heard not too long ago is that you can't feel anxiety and gratitude at the same time. So it's just a strat that I would suggest to try out. I'm not really sure if it works because I've been doing good, so I don't I don't know if that strat works. So you guys will have to let me know if that strat works or not. Anyways, oh, as I was saying, so if you ever feel like it's you against the world, it's just not true. It just simply feels that way because of the people that you're constantly surrounded by. And I know that that's something that's not controllable for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, we reach a certain age where we can begin to control that. And sometimes we feel guilty, and that's okay. But if you truly feel like someone is a hindrance to your life in any way, shape, or form, whether that be mental, energetically, spiritually, or emotionally, it's best to just remove them from your life. And if they truly were your friend, they would truly understand. They would hear you out for what you have to say, and they would be like, honestly, I'm really grateful I got to know you, and I wish you the best of luck on your way. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's never you against the world, bro. It just feels like that sometimes. But it's I don't know what the correct world is, but people saying it's me against the world has a big fallacy to a certain degree, and I just wanted to put that out there. You matter. It's not you against the world. People want to do more good than they want to do bad, and there are going to be tough choices, and they're not going to be easy. But remember, it's all going to be worth it in the end. So keep strong.
Donkey up close to us with more of that firelight as Shrek sits on the edge in front of the supermoon. Emblematic for lines like, "The world that seems to have a problem with me," and from just that alone, we have the crux of Shrek's disgruntlement. It's all about his identity as an ogre.
See, now, this particular scene, from what he's saying and stuff like that, like I said, everyone just seems to be against me. But notice how in this particular scene, Donkey is not against him. He's on the same side as Shrek here. If that doesn't sound like friend behavior, I don't know what does. You know what I mean? A real friend would truly be like Donkey. And I know that sounds like they wouldn't be an ass, but you know what I mean?
And his place in society. We know him as the loner in the middle of a swamp, but perhaps that was the location that was pinned to him rather than the one he chose. Regardless, it's an even more stark composition to set up for your emotional heart-to-heart. And who'd have expected it? In a movie about a big green ogre, what a juxtaposition. But it's the...
Yeah, for real, when I was first watching this movie, I did not expect, like, an emotional turn like that. Where it's like, but it's like the underlying tone. This particular thing is what makes a lot of people feel alone. And not this particular thing, but just that train of thought causes a lot of people to feel alone. Not that it's the only one, but that it's, in my opinion, it's the main one from what I've seen and what I've experienced.
The point of the movie. Why shouldn't it go with him? He's still a person like everybody else, with opinions and emotions too.
People
Second, guys. Whatever. We'll bring it back, but we're gonna do one more.
look at me and go, "Ah, help, run! A big, stupid, ugly ogre."
Shrek's vent here comes from a place of anger. It's a disparity of fairness, and he's the victim, and he has a short fuse for it. He's naturally a mad person, which only contributes more to painting him as that scary monster.
Bro, and you want to know what's crazy? Is that so many people are afraid of quote-unquote conflict, right? And what is happening between Donkey and Shrek right now? What most of us view to be conflict, right? And with that being said, Donkey's chilling. Donkey's bringing the best out of Shrek right now. And Shrek is showing a little bit of his worst, but at the same time, he's healing. To an extent, he is healing. And that can apply to the real world too, and it's crazy how much emotional impact the scene has.
Monster he would otherwise hope to thwart. But then as the outer layer of anger and confrontation subsides, we then capture the next expression of Shrek's character, more real and to the core this time.
They judge me before they even know me.
And with all of that being said, in this particular movie, yes, this is true. And a lot of us can feel this way in our lives sometimes, especially considering how we may have grown up. But pushing all of that to the side, once you get to your adult life, from what I've experienced, a majority of people aren't as judgmental as we think that they are. And it's just really crazy that a lot of our issues are self-inflicted. A lot of our pain is self-inflicted. Granted, not saying that's how they originated. They obviously originated from different things. But at the end of the day, they are being self-inflicted at a certain point in time. When does it start? It's going to be different for everyone. For me personally, I believe it started at like 12. But we're not gonna go into those specifics for that because it's still like traumatic shit. So yeah, it's honestly just crazy to think about that sometimes. How again, just how impactful the scene is when you really like think about it.
That's why I'm better off alone.
Painted with the more childish language to be clear to the young ones in the audience, yeah, all of us once. But the point is still there. Shrek as the strong, the brave, the scary, and the grotesque is vulnerable here for perhaps the first time. It's not that nothing affects him, it's that he puts on a front and responds to a world that has already dictated his place in it.
Right, and this is a majority of people. But what I would put that to words is like almost like a persona that we believe that we have in front of other people, right? And the thing is, if they like your persona, that's something that you as a person came up with, right? And it was your original idea. So why would they not like the original you, the place of origin of that persona? And it's never a bad thing either. It just might be who you are when you're with that person. Because that does exist. We're not the same person when we're around the same people all the time. But I know that's a bit more complex kind of a conversation to have.
The supermoon, no longer a bright focus to shine optimism out of, but just the darkness of the starry sky, and only a hint of that fireplace glow. Shrek's face is lit well, but that's for us to see the sadness all the better as he opens up to us all for the very first time. A new bonding piece for Donkey's friendship to grow from, and a sense...
He didn't even show Shrek. He was like, finally get to see him in his emotional state, and then he doesn't even show him right after that, for that silence.
Of emotional transparency that Fiona can resonate with too, way back at the cave. And with Shrek more exposed than usual, it's time for Donkey to mature up and react, joining him on this artistic moonshot. Shrek may have felt alone all his life, but he's not alone right now, and he has at least one companion right by his side.
And that's what I was saying all along. Donkey's on the same side with Shrek, which disproves that everyone judges him and everyone, everything this and everything that, right? Donkey disproves all of that for the very first time. And later in the exact same movie, Fiona does the exact same thing. And just seeing it once is why he was so acceptable to the second time. And these were the first times in his life as being truly authentic, and it was being rewarded, And I believe that's the experience for most people. When you're truly authentic, the reward is enlightening almost.
In this beautiful composition, for once. Ready to hear whatever he wants to say. Or I guess doesn't want to say too.
You know what? When we met, I didn't think you was just a big, stupid, ugly ogre.
It's not a profound perspective, it's just reusing Shrek's words in a way that proves him wrong, showcasing how Donkey is different to the average person, for he's not scared of him upon contact. It's an excuse for relief on Shrek's part that he doesn't have to hate the entire world, and that there are people who will accept him. There is progress being made in Shrek's life that can be potentially all for the better, and it seems he understands that.
I know.
It's not exactly a big grand thank you, but it is a form of gratitude from Shrek. Told in a more reserved way, but he's clearly not as heated as he was before. Right. Whether that's from finally expelling the words or for Donkey's response, the fact of the matter is he's calmed down. And he's got company. Bringing us right back to the very start of the scene, looking out to the stars, a little closer as friends than they were before.
So, are there any donkeys up there?
Well, there's Gabby.
As we literally revert back to the age-old conversation.
Guys, friendships are truly beautiful. And I don't know if you caught the emotional heartstrings that were being placed there, but I feel it every single time I see that scene. I couldn't tell you why, but I just wanted to express that it does happen.
Conversation of what stories can be seen in the stars. Shrek having something else to explain about, or just make up for fun, whilst Donkey seems back on board again. More stories to hear out of a bunch of little dots, since perhaps, sometimes things are more than they appear. This whole outburst being evidence of that. Though this story still has to have a little bit of banter to it, or reality.
The small and annoying.
Okay, I see it now, yeah, the big shiny one, right there, right?
They're right back to their usual roles in this dynamic, a duo of unexpected circumstances, basking in the beautiful night sky, closer than ever, as Fiona gets to watch the remnants of an emotionally vulnerable aspect of these newbies she only just met. It's something endearing. It's how Shrek does a heart-to-heart. A little different in the middle there, but the outcome by the end is much the same.
That one there?
That's the moon.
Oh, okay.
And as the camera pulls back, we cross-dissolve once again over to daytime for the next day. It was an eventful night, but a good one. Don't linger on the argument part. Shrek scenes have practically everywhere been done to death, and unless I pick a scene that literally has no substance to pick through, I think this is the next best underrated scene to dissect. Once it got started, practically every line started to sound like one of those philosophical lo-fi edits. Take the sound and plug it on top of those two cliff shots and you basically have a whole video there. In fact, if I search...
Bro just called me out right now for pretty much just doing that in this video. Not gonna lie.
Shrek lo-fi right now, I bet I'll hear that judge me before they know me line in there, right? Exactly, there it is. By a guy called Kijugo. That particular line is a minified meme of its own, but so much of the rest of this could do with the lo-fi treatment as well, I imagine. Maybe someone will make it happen one day. Because Shrek memes, they will never end. But this video will.
That's a pleasure.
My name's been Daz. You didn't really care, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Hey, bro, I cared. I love your videos, bro. I found you not too long ago. I hope you see this, bro. How big your channel is? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you'll notice me, man. But I rock with it.
It's Shrek.
Also, why
This
can I
movie
not-
has been
Okay, there we go. It was like slightly zoomed in. That's why. Daz reviews. W video. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys wanna you watch some more, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, and go ahead and join me on the Twitch. We're going crazy on Twitch right now. I'm not even gonna lie. We're going crazy on Twitch. So go ahead and give me a follow over there if you haven't already. And go ahead and give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Go ahead. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.